Miles refers to himself as Crazy Miles Guo. That's in China, the CCP. Oh, he's crazy. He's a liar. He's a rapist. He's all this criminal. He's done all this, and his sidekick, the even crazier Stephen K. Bannon. But I got to tell you, I'm a big believer in results, outcomes, and the thing about Miles Guo that's pretty impressive is the called shots he's had, where people said, "Oh, he's crazy. He's a liar. Bannon, you're nuts." And just a few for our audience, I want to make sure that you understand. One was H&A, the largest financial company in the world at the time, where Miles Guo, on Voice of America, that was pulled and shut down by request from the Chinese embassy. Miles Guo said, "Hey, this is actually an influence peddling operation and a money laundering operation owned by the Chinese Communist Party, particularly Wan Xishan, with a couple of C4 non-for-profits out of New York City." And, of course, Merrill Lynch and Goldman Sachs and Bank of America, all these guys are involved with them. Miles Guo said, hey, these are American financial institutions that are supporting the corruption, basically the stealing of money from the Chinese people, allowed by Beijing to funnel it into the United States to get it out of China. And number two, to buy your politicians, to buy your financial institutions, to buy your corporations. That turned out to be true. H&A is no longer the biggest financial company in the world. It's in bankruptcy. It's in receivership in China, in Henan, after all of the companies that Miles Guo called out back down. Number two was Hong Kong. Miles Guo said, hey, I think these Hong Kong guys are not going to sit there and take these extradition bills. They're going to fight for their freedom. Everybody said, oh, no. Miles Guo said, hey, I think there's going to be 2 million people in the streets. This is back on the 4th of June of 2019. Guess what? It led to a revolt in Hong Kong. Obviously, they cracked down. Miles Guo called it the entire way. There's been so many more, dozens and dozens and dozens I could go through, but I want to talk about this latest one with Miles Guo, and we kind of got a little off the order I wanted to do it in, but I'll jump right into that. Miles Guo back in January of this year said at our meeting of these rule of law and other organizations that we sit on, Miles Guo said, hey, there's something coming out of China, and it's going to be I think it's got human-to-human transmission. It's SARS. And this was the day after Li He and the entire delegation of the Chinese Communist Party came to the White House and signed the Phase 1 deal, and as we know for a fact now, never notified anybody. Miles Guo and his team have been talking about this since late December and early January. And look at everything that the carnage had it tore through the world. And Miles just said, hey, they went around, sucked up all the PPE. They went around the world and vacuumed that all up while they were told the Chinese people, you can't travel anywhere internally, but you can get on a plane and go to northern Italy, to Milan. You can get on a plane and go to JFK. You can get on a plane and go to LAX and spread it. That's the Chinese Communist Party. Miles, I want to go back to Wuhan, but before I do, even before I met you, you you had a, correct me if I'm wrong now, you had a press conference at the National Press Club right here in downtown D.C., a block from the White House, right across, I think, from the Treasury, a block away, in 2017, and you warned the American people. And I remember people were laughing. Who's this guy? Who's this crazy Chinese guy? Right? Who's this guy? What's he warning us about? The Chinese Communist Party is our partner. They're in all our businesses. What is he warning us about? They're good guys, right? Joe Biden, come on, man. So, Miles, I want to go back 3 years. What was your warning to the United States in 2017? What did you warn the United States about the Chinese Communist Party, and what would happen if people in the United States didn't start to wake up and understand the enemy that we had?
Sir, thank you. Remember this. I want to correct. 3 years ago, before the meeting you, I'm in the YouTube. I broadcast, it's the more now, until now, it's 3,000 times the live, broadcast videos. I meet you before I warning give America. Also, the person 100% you say correct. I talk to America. Also, I give American FBI as the thousand document. Okay, including I'm in the 2017 September, same today. It's the September 4. It's 3 years ago. Today is the 2017 September 4 in the DC, and the press conference I talk to America. I have two secret, high qualified document from CCP inside. I get this one. One is CCP send a spy to America. They work in the Bank of China in New York. Another one is CCP have a strategy how can take down America. All of this is the two documents I give for America FBI. Before I go to the press conference, FBI, the agents, I ask them, do you verify my document I give you that's true as fake? They tell me, yes, we are check. We are technically check. That's true. I'll say, okay. Then I go to the press conference. I have another three as high qualified as document. But before press conference, I in the bathroom, I burned, I fired. Why? I think it's too dangerous for my family. Also, America, nobody believes me anymore. Nobody asked me, what is Miles Guo before the 1 hours in the DC 3 years ago, September 4th, same today. Which document I burned? I told you, sir, you never asked me, right? Now I in the war room. Now I can give you the answer. I burned this document. Is CCP called 13579 high qualified document. They have the program make the biological weapon and the chemical weapon. They talk how can use the lab, P3 lab, P4 lab, and make the biology weapon, and China how can make is the chemical weapon. That's why, sir, 3 years ago I can see. Please, America and the West of the world, do you prepare? Are you ready? Is CCP the black cloud? Is coming your sky? That's our warnings. Now, after 3 years, sir, you can see this. I before talk HNA, also I talk the Jack Ma, I talk the TikTok, I talk the Zoom, I talk the WeChat. Everything's happened, sir. Do you remember I meet you first time 2017? After is the September, October, I think so. You leave the White House, I meet you. I told them everything give you this. Your eye, open the eye, you look at me, you also think me is crazy mouse. But I don't care. I don't care who, how watch me, how think me. I use my life, everything. I want to give to America and the West of the world. I give provide what is my note from the insights-based intelligence. CCP have the program, 3F program, and BGY program. They want to make American weak, make America unstable, and take down America, kill America. Now, after 3 years, we look at the coronavirus, we look at the economy, we look at the TikTok, we look at the HNA, we look at the Jack Ma, we look at all this SOE company in the NASDAQ. Now, sir, first time I talk this. One hand, CCP is evil. It's for your country, kill you all the American people, 160,000 people, get 5 million people get infected coronavirus, and stole your job, stole your technology. Another hand, CCP is in the paper. I think the behind the real black hand, not the CCP, is from your country. It's everything by your country owned. Dollar, Wall Street, and technically, everything is America gave the CCP, WTO, the contract. CCP, 2001, 1.3 trillion GDP. Now it's a $14 trillion GDP. That's why CCP must be stole your dollar, stole your technique.